It's Wednesday, June 20th, 2018. And I am saying CyberPunk 2077 is closer than the insiders are leading us to believe. And here's why. At the end of this, I'll kind of formulate a prediction date of when I think we will see the full game of CyberPunk 2077. Now, to CD Projekt Red's credit, they have always said the game will come out when it is ready. They're not giving us any kind of release date, any release window, a year, a day, nothing. They are just basically saying when it's done, it will be released. CD Projekt Red, they seem to me to be a little bit different than everybody else. I could almost see them kind of doing a thing where what Bethesda did with Fallout 4, where they all of a sudden just said it's going to be out in about 4 or 5 months. I can see CD Projekt Red doing the same thing. I can see them getting close, polishing everything up, and then all of a sudden just somewhere, not necessarily even E3, just somewhere, them going, you know what, it's going to be out in a couple months, or it's going to be out in 4 months, or it's coming out. You know, to give enough, I think they would probably want it to be 3 or 4 months at least, because they want to get a good amount of pre-orders on it. When you've been working on a game for a long time, you want a lot of pre-orders to know how many people are really invested in this thing. So I've been listening to the experts, and the experts keep saying, or the insiders, they keep saying, you know, this game's not going to be out for years. It's not going to be out for like 3 or 4 years. We may not even see it on this generation of consoles. It's so far away. It's not coming out. I don't know how it could possibly get out anytime soon. But let's look. This game was revealed in May of 2012. That's right, revealed that they were going to be working on this game in May of 2012. 6 years ago. Now, that meant the game was probably in pre-production, planning stages, going through some things, doing some storyboarding, dropping ideas, brainstorming sessions, nothing being really put into computers or being developed, but the ideas were being brought forward. Now, at the time, they were still working on The Witcher 3. They were still working on DLC. They were still working on a lot of things, and probably even working on Gwent or whatever that game is. So they've been working. They've been in the idea stages since at least 2012. That teaser trailer. Okay, now let's look at that teaser trailer. The teaser trailer came out January 10th of 2013. January 10th, 7 months after they announced that the game existed. They had a teaser trailer that looked that good. Okay? It looked that good. And it was a teaser trailer. That wasn't a gameplay trailer. That wasn't a cinematic. It was a teaser. It was just something to let them know, look at how good this could look. Now, fast forward, we are going to fast forward basically till 2018. Because we haven't heard much since then. Now they had the little beep because they said, well, we need to keep the Twitter page still alive or something like that. So we had to, push something through. We had to post something on our Twitter account for CyberPunk 2077. So we put the little beep there. Basically, I think that was just them being clever and saying, it's still alive. It's still got a pulse. It's still coming. We just haven't showed you a lot yet because we've been working at it really, really. They've been working very hard at this. So I kept hearing a lot of the insiders say, this won't even probably get released on a current generation of consoles. So they're talking PlayStation 5, Xbox One, 3X, 5, whatever the next Xbox is going to be called, because Microsoft can't name things properly. But here's the problem I have with that, kids. Now again, these games are usually developed on PCs for consoles, okay? And they have all the information on how these consoles work, and then they build them on the computers and they see if they run on the consoles. Sometimes they build them with the console's hardware. I don't know. Most they're built on computers that know the tech, and they basically test it to see if it works on the Xbox One X or the Switch or the PS4. Now, the problem I have with them saying, well, it won't be released until next generation consoles, who's got dev kits for those yet? Does anybody have dev kits for the PS5? Does anybody have dev kits for the Xbox, the next Xbox? Does anybody? I haven't heard about Microsoft or Sony passing out dev kits. They're still working on their next level of machine. They haven't even handed out dev kits, I don't think. I haven't heard of any gaming company getting dev kits for the next generation of consoles. And the next generation of consoles still may be 3 years down the line. We may not see the next generation of consoles until 2021, maybe 2022. There's no reason. This generation of consoles is still strong. They're still strong in sales. The PS4, there's still a lot of great games being made for these things. I think Microsoft, yeah, they probably want to push theirs out before Sony gets theirs out. But Rich from Review Tech USA even kind of said, he goes, it's still essentially going to be a lot of the same hardware. It's just going to be better, which basically is like your PC. It's going to be an upgrade of your current generation of console. It'll just be made faster, better, just like an upgrade onto your computer. But we're still probably 3 years, I think 3 years away minimum of seeing the next generation of consoles. Like I said, CD Projekt Red more than likely doesn't even have a dev kit for the next generation of consoles. So it's got to come out on this generation of consoles. The next thing that I'll say, hour-long demo at this E3. Now, it's the other thing all of the insiders are raving about, is this hour-long demo that they got to watch. Now, they said it was pretty much cinematic, and it was gameplay, but it was staged gameplay. It was scripted. So everything was being done as the programmers wanted it to be done, so they could show off certain aspects of the game, which is fine. Lots of video game companies do this. They'll have scripted gameplay footage just to show you the best of what is coming and what is possible. Hour-long demo. That is a long demo. This game, I mean, the world that they had to build and everything that's already in place in that world is built. Now, granted, it might be for that part of that city, but they showed a lot of stuff to these insiders. It was over 50 minutes, not quite an hour, but over 50 minutes. That is a lot of footage being shown. You're telling me that this game is still 3 to 5 years away when they've got that much footage shown? Let's talk about another game real quick. Final Fantasy VII. The first time we saw Final Fantasy VII was mid-June of 2015. E3 2015 is when we saw the teaser trailer for Final Fantasy VII. We haven't seen anything since. That's 3 years. And we have not seen nothing since. Now, that may change at the Tokyo Game Show this year. Don't quote me on that. But it could. The Tokyo Game Show might reveal a little bit more, which I'm hoping it does, because if it doesn't, if we don't see anything at the Tokyo Game Show for this game may be a long way away from being done. But that's 3 years. We haven't seen anything on Final Fantasy VII in 3 years. Nothing. CyberPunk 2077 has pretty much been dormant for 5 years. We know it exists. We know it's being worked on since that teaser. but they pretty much kept quiet about it. And now all of a sudden, they have an hour-long demo at an E3 to show off all that stuff, to show off the customization, to show off the world, to show off gunplay, to show off enhancements, cyberware, which I guess is the enhancements of, of enhancing your character. They have shown all of that stuff off. It exists. We know it exists. We have a good idea, just from what the insiders are telling us, of what this game is going to be. This game is closer than we think. I won't say this game will come out in 2018. I won't say that. But there may be a big video game show coming down the road. Or maybe, maybe CD Projekt Red just all of a sudden punches us in the mouth with just some awesome trailer that they just spring on us. And then underneath it has the release date. Now, there's a part of me that says this game could come out this year. But I'm not trusting my gut on this one because that's way too soon. That's probably way too soon to think that this game is going to come out this year. But I am going to predict that this game will come out holiday 2019. I will say that this will be an October release of 2019. And there is going to be a ton of video games that are going to be trying to get out of their way when this game releases, because this, by what all the insiders are saying, the game looks amazing. I don't really like first-person shooters that much, and this is a first-person game, but even I find myself hard-pressed to not want to play this. So there's too many things there that lead me to believe that this game is a lot closer than the experts are saying. Not to mention, this game has been announced to be released on PS4 and Xbox One. So, CD Projekt Red knows that they can get the game done in the timeline that they need to. I think we'll get an upgraded version of it with all the DLC and everything for the new systems when they come out, the new consoles in a few years, because it'll just be upgrading the graphics. But I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to say October 2019. October 2019. I'm going to write it down in a book. I'm going to write down October 2019. I'm not going to give you an exact day because October has got 31 of them. And I'm not that good. I mean, let's face it. I'm trying to do something that the experts and the insiders are trying to do as well, which is predict when it's coming out. And here I am, just some schmuck living in Colorado who's never even been to a video game conference, and I'm going to tell CD Projekt Red when their game's coming out? I don't think so. I'm just trying to predict, because I'm a small fry and CD Projekt Red doesn't know I exist. So, shh, they'll never know. They'll never know that I predicted October of 2019. But this game is closer than we think. It's not 3 or 4 years away. It's not coming out this year, but it's closer than we think. This game could... I just don't see CD Projekt Red releasing this. If CD Projekt Red doesn't... I still think it's a 2019 release. But maybe it's a spring release. Maybe March to May, somewhere in there. If they're closer than even I think. But holiday of 2019, they'd make a lot of money. But, CD Projekt Red doesn't do it like everybody else. They do things... they do things to their own beat, which I like about them. But I still say that, I don't know. Maybe I should change that. This game is, we're going to say October of 2019. That's the day that's the month that I'm saying. But I am still saying that March to May of 2019, and this is me, this is the optimistic, I'm going to write this down, optimistic, this is prediction, this is the optimistic prediction right here, boom, written down in terrible handwriting, March to May of 2019. That's being optimistic. But more realistic, we're even spelling that out there. Realistic, October of 2019. So what do you think? When do you think this game is coming out? Do you think the insiders are right? Do you think this game is way far off? Or do you think that the evidence I've presented you with leads you to believe this game is closer than we think? So, with all that being said, to the troops, past, present, and future, thanks for the freedom.